and the democratic rights of New Zealanders.
I call the honourable member.
Thank you.
Jonathan Young.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, I would like to answer some of those questions that the previous speaker has asked. Taranaki is one of those regions that has a great balance and protective care, but also economic development regarding its environment. We have agriculture, we have oil and gas exploration and production, and we have tourism all operating together at the same time, and yet without a complaint regarding any of those activities. And it's important to also understand, that there is great economic benefit. And I say to the previous speaker that at some point in time, the East Coast needs to embrace the opportunities that are before it, as Taranaki did 50 years ago. Because now we have in Taranaki, the average wage in the oil and gas is $95,000. Just before Christmas, over 125 jobs advertised at over $100,000. And all the time, if you come to Taranaki, as I'm sure the member has in the past, you will witness and see and appreciate and enjoy a great environment. There is no reason why economic development cannot proceed with robust environmental concerns and care. Now, go back to where oil and gas exports were at one point in time the fourth largest export from this country, and then we saw the Tui field come on stream, and one field in its production lifted the oil and gas or the oil exports to the third highest export commodity in the country. And when you think about that, think about hospitals, think about schools, think about police stations that are built, as one is being built in New Plymouth at the moment. Think about roads. Think about New Zealand super being able to be increased at a higher rate than inflation for our elderly New Zealanders. Think about jobs and well-paid jobs. Think about all the benefits that can be achieved whilst all the time having a robust environmental regime in our legislation, which this government is putting in place, particularly around the EEZ, which never existed before under that previous government's time and regime. So, Mr. Speaker, I am very pleased to stand in support of this legislation. I believe that it touches on some very important areas and brings some very good, balanced, pragmatic, sensible and principled pieces of legislation together that will enhance the future and the productivity of this country whilst also protecting our environmental principles. Thank you, sir.
I call the honourable